Coming up next on Heartland Highways, it's all about collecting.
First, we'll head to Pana for their annual Classic Bicycle Show, held under the big top of the Chautauqua Pavilion.
Then it's off to Decatur for a look at David Lee Allen's Coca-Cola collection, which includes rare items like this 1970s Levi's denim machine van.
Coca-Cola gave away 10, but then other places, bottling plants, radio stations found out what Coke was doing, and they ordered about another 90 vans or so. So there's roughly around 100 whenever the whole contest started. Well, now after all these years, there's only about 13 left that we can find. I have 3 of the 13.
Chances are some of those vintage bicycles from Pana at one time were ridden down to the corner store for a bottle of ice-cold Coca-Cola. This next story should bring back some memories. In Decatur, we met a guy who's collected thousands of Coke-related pieces that span virtually the entire history of the company. Started in 1886 by pharmacist John Pemberton, Coca-Cola is as much a part of the American culture as baseball and apple pie. The logo, unchanged since its inception, remains one of the most recognized symbols in the world. For people like David Lee Allen of Decatur, Illinois, Coke is more than just a refreshing drink on a hot day. It's a collecting passion, and it all started with one innocent poster.
25 years ago, fresh out of college, I was Christmas help down at Spencer Gifts, and there was a picture, just a print, and I took it home and I said, I'm going to call this pop art. So basically that was my very first piece, and then things kind of multiplied around the picture. Then I bought a house and it was all over.
Filling up his home and garage with Coke items didn't take long, as the company seemed to put their namesake on just about everything from crosswalk markers to dishes.
I think it's neat how they just put their name on everything. Things that aren't even related to, soft drinks, rulers, yo-yos. They just found anything. Hairbrushes, lighters. Has nothing to do with soda pop, but they were marketing geniuses.
David's collection spans 100-plus years of Coke, including the first bottle designs to limited edition items from the 1970s.
Coca-Cola Levi's denim machine. This was a contest in 1976. Pepsi was hot on Coca-Cola's tail at this time. And of course the 70s was all about, hippies and party vans, and people were making these big vans with water beds in them and things like that. So this was kind of Coca-Cola's answer, and it was a huge giveaway. Coca-Cola gave away 10, but then other places, bottling plants, radio stations found out what Coke was doing, and they ordered about another 90 vans or so. So there's roughly around 100 whenever the whole contest started. Well, now after all these years, there's only about 13 left that we can find. I have 3 of the 13.
The van includes an interior made from Levi's jeans, 8-track tape player, fridge, and even a black and white TV. Modeled after Star Wars R2-D2, the Cobot is another favorite in David's collection.
It took 2 men to run it. They're the remote controls, just like the old remote control airplanes. It has a big antenna sticking off of it. And they would use these in parades and school functions and promote, drinking Coke and don't do drugs and things like this. And the face of the robot is a magnet, and then the bottles on the feet also are interchangeable. So if at the time they were promoting Mellow Yellow, it could be a Mellow Yellow robot. So there's a whole kit that came with it.
David also has a good collection of Coke machines, from the earliest ice chests painted in the original Coke colors of red and green.
Then we go through the years, and they changed, of course, to the red chest. Then, of course, they started refrigerating them, so that was kind of nice. It got rid of the ice and the wetness on the bottle. Then it went to a machine, and they kind of started with a chest that had a mechanism on top, so you kind of still pulled the bottle out of the chest, but then they went to upright machines. And there's so many different styles. One of the most popular ones, the most popular one is the Vendo 39.
This hard-to-find machine is larger than most. Able to dispense more bottles than standard machines, it would have been found primarily in factory break and lunchrooms. In the 1960s, when Coke went from bottles to cans, machines were modified to include a can opener.
We hadn't invented the pop top. We've invented machines that could vend it out, but we weren't smart enough to invent the pop top yet. So the very first Coke machine that dispensed Coke out of a can actually had a can opener on it. And so you'd literally put your can in the opener and close it down, and then it would put the two holes in the top, just like a tomato juice can.
This salesman sample cooler is another unique piece in the collection.
And it's a miniaturized version of the actual Coke chests. And then this one is the most complete that I've ever seen. This one actually has all of the cards, and it would give you a choice. You know, the salesman could flip through the cards and actually say, you know, would you like our junior ice model or our standard ice? And it would give you a choice of whatever his market would be. If he was a small town, he just might need a smaller outfit. And so that is a very rare piece and one of the most complete ones that I've seen. It actually comes with a leather bag that the salesman would actually carry it around.
Local pieces of Decatur Coke memorabilia include a clock from the Liberty Fruit Market and a fountainhead from the Rogers Movie Theater. And from Charleston, Illinois, comes a much sought-after piece of sheet music from 1915.
Follow me to the soda fountain and be my Coca-Cola girl. It was written by Earl Threlkeld, and he's actually from the Charleston area. And this is one of the most desired sheet music of the Coke collectibles. He actually used as his own calling card. If you can see on the sheet music, he has actually written on it, "I also tune and repair pianos, and if you want, phone me at this number." And the phone number is only a 4-digit number because this was 1915.
Of course, Coke is not just an American brand. It has a presence in many other countries around the world.
Also have from England, we actually have the Coca-Cola bottle that is from the Princess Diana, Prince Charles wedding. I got it right before she passed away. And of course, a couple days later, the value went up tremendously.
For David, it was always his dream that the collection would someday turn into a museum. From June of 2008 to January of 2009, his Coliseum found a home at the Hickory Point Mall in Forsyth, Illinois. In terms of volume of his collection, David jokes that his is just the big toe of collections, meaning there's more to be found, and like any passionate collector, he's always looking for more.
A collector's never done. I think I've enjoyed the van, but what I would really like is one of the old antique delivery trucks. A real one, not a toy. I want the actual truck, and if a couple different styles, of course. There's many of them out there when they were delivering in the 20s and 30s and 40s. So the old yellow delivery trucks would be the ultimate creme de la creme.